Hi, we've recently added some more automation and AI assistance in the execution of some of our workflow steps. So let's take the example of a guidance task. So here we're asking the end user executing the workflow to draft a rejection email. So you can see here during the execution, you have three different modes, either manual, which is the way it was until now, where the end user would have to draft that rejection email directly in the workflow step. But we added the AI assisted mode, where an AI will actually provide a first draft of that rejection email for the user to review and validate before they submit it. And finally, the full AI mode, where the AI will draft the rejection email and automatically move on to the next step. If we take the approach for the trigger action step, you'll notice on this action, we only have two different modes, either manual or automatic. The reason for this action is just a matter of clicking on the button. It doesn't have a form to fill out. There's no intelligence here. So either you can ask your end user to trigger it by clicking on the button with the manual mode, or just let our system automatically trigger this action and move on to the next step with the automatic mode. However, in the case where you might have an action form for an action step, for example, to reject a KYC case, we do ask the user to input a rejection reason in the action form. In this case, you have access to the three modes of manual, AI assisted, or full AI. Again, manual, the user will have to trigger the action, fill out the form, and submit it. AI assisted, our AI will pre-fill the action form while the user can review and submit it, while full AI will all be done by our AI from filling out each field to submitting it. Of course, if our AI doesn't have the necessary context or instruction when executing the step, it will fall back to AI assisted by pre-filling all the required fields and letting the user review them and modify them before submitting. So the same thing is available on load related records. So now, because I'm starting my workflow on a KYC case, I need to load the customer that is related to it. I can either have our AI suggest a particular record to load from our customers list and our end user to validate that using the AI assisted mode, or just fully trust our AI to pick the right record to load using the full AI mode. And finally, the escalation node will make that available for automatic execution as well, so that a user doesn't have to click on the escalate button at runtime. So this will all enable the ability to run workflows in the background, call them externally from a webhook, for example, or through our MCP, which are features that are coming very soon. So let's see what that looks like in practice. If I'm going to run my workflow on this particular KYC case, you'll notice the first step to load a customer is automatic, where our AI picked the correct data to load. Our second one, however, was also automatic, but there wasn't a record to load, so our AI is telling you to continue without a KYC document in this case. Then it can take a particular decision, which is a feature that has been available for a few months using our AI providing a decision here. And here you can see the reason for rejection has been provided by our AI in a full AI mode. So there's no way for the end user to modify this before moving on to the next step. It has been generated and submitted by AI. But now we can see an action form to reject the KYC case. When I click on this, you'll see the rejection reason has already been pre-filled by the AI. I can modify it if I'm not satisfied with it, and then I can just click on reject KYC. And finally, our last step is going to be to draft the rejection email, where our AI will draft a first version of it that I can now go ahead and modify if needed before submitting it.